both of his dudes in FBG got caught by the police in trap spots. That's a little bit confusing to me, Chad. One guy basically just liquidated like his musical fame, got $100 million, and he's spending buying this, that, and third, tricking on women, doing whatever he does. And then the rest of the team, they're keep getting caught in drug spots. That's kind of confusing. Ain't that confusing, Chad?
Future's blood brother is now staring down a lifetime behind bars for moving enough product to destroy countless lives, while Future himself sits comfortably on a $100 million fortune after selling his music catalog. This story goes way beyond family ties. It's about what happens when envy and hunger for power twist loyalty into betrayal. There are whispers that he may have even turned on his own crew and brother just to save himself from getting dragged into the same storm. Behind Future's flashy Miami mansion and designer lifestyle, his brother Casino was allegedly running heavy street operations, flipping 21 kilos of that dangerous substance while trying to live like a boss. The feds caught him slipping in an Airbnb that was secretly being used as a stash spot, and when they moved in, the whole operation crumbled fast.
As a drug dealer. Like, shit, I mean, 4K, they got, this is kind of shocking to me. How is Future's blood brother, like, selling drugs? Like, this don't make no sense. You got Scooter running out of a trap spot, Casino selling drugs, and now I'm hearing there's another guy named Lil 00, he's selling drugs. What's going on? Yo, Future, all it takes, take $10 million of that $100 million you got, and just give them, yo, 2 for you, 2 for you, 3 for you. Get these niggas out of the bando, bro.
But we got the real receipts, official paperwork, press conference clips, and the story nobody else has dared to unpack. What's wild is how Future never pulled his own people out when he had the chance. The truth behind that choice is darker than anyone thought. This situation peels back layers of greed, loyalty, and betrayal inside one of Atlanta's biggest rap families, FBG. From young Scooter's tragic loss that could have been avoided to Casino's full-blown federal nightmare, this saga shows how fast success can flip when the streets still got a hold on you. We're diving deep into real family chaos, tearing apart an empire built on beats and street codes. What I'm about to break down will completely shift how you view loyalty, power, and fame in hip-hop today. Stay tuned. The truth about Future's decisions, the Fed's moves, and the entire FBG downfall will leave you speechless. The internet's been talking, but trust me, most folks only know half the story. We got news headlines flying, press statements dropping, but this time, we're cutting through all the noise and bringing the real story straight from the official federal complaint papers.
The cartel in these organizations, it's coming from a source coming into the country and then distributed on a local level in these communities like Athens, like Macon in the Middle District of Georgia, hitting the street and then being distributed by gangs and local distributors. And that flow of drugs, that's not an opinion, that's a fact. You can trace the pattern, and that's how drugs flow through our community.
November 2025, around 10 p.m., that exact night flipped the entire Wilburn family upside down. Rico Casino B, Future's blood brother, and the man said to be running FBG's behind-the-scenes business, was chilling inside a Forest Park Airbnb when federal agents from the FBI, DEA, and Homeland Security Task Force kicked in the door with search warrants in hand, ready to turn his whole world inside out. This wasn't some random sweep. This was Operation Take Back America, a massive coordinated move against high-level organizations that stretch far beyond local streets. Now, before anybody thinks this was lightweight, think again. Agents reportedly found 21 kilos of a dangerous illegal substance. That's about 46 pounds of pure destruction, enough to ruin entire communities. They also pulled out nearly $500,000 in street value, plus $380,000 in cash, money counters, vacuum sealers, and even a loaded Glock 19. This was no small hustle. This was a full-blown distribution setup operating like a business empire gone wrong. And here's the wild part. Future had already cashed out nearly $100 million just 2 years before this. Yet his own people were still out here risking their freedom like they had nothing to lose. That's not loyalty, that's chaos. This isn't just about one family member getting snatched up. It's about a dangerous pattern that's been growing ever since Future got his big payday. Young Scooter lost his life in 2025 after a chase linked to another street setup gone bad. Other FBG names have been tangled in investigations, and now Future's actual brother is facing a lifetime behind bars. While Future's on Instagram posting private jet trips and island vacations, the optics were bad enough, but the truth behind it, way uglier. Let's break it down. In 2022, Future made one of the biggest money moves in hip-hop history when he sold his entire music catalog to influence media partners for somewhere between $65 and $75 million. That's not just rich money, that's legacy money. We're talking the kind of bag that sets up your kids, your grandkids, and their grandkids too.
I believe that Diaz's connection to California is significant because we know, as mentioned earlier, the Mexican drug cartels smuggle fentanyl into our country over the southwest border.
This wasn't no simple record deal or touring check. This was ownership level cash. The type of payday that puts you in a whole new world where your accountant's number's on speed dial. And right after that money landed, Future went all out and dropped a mind-blowing $16 million on a Miami waterfront mansion. A palace with ocean views, marble everything, and luxury dripping from every corner. The man was living like he'd officially conquered the game. And honestly, he had. But the spending didn't stop there. He started moving like someone who just hit the biggest jackpot of his life. Now here's where things start getting twisted. FBG, Freebandz gang, wasn't just a label to Future, it was family. Casino wasn't just some artist on the roster, he was blood, his real brother, and the one who handled business while Future was out touring and building his empire. When Future got busy chasing superstardom, Casino stayed back in Atlanta, holding down the streets, keeping the brand alive, and making sure everything moved smooth. And everybody from the block knows the rule. When one person eats, everybody eats. You don't make it out just to forget your crew, especially not your own blood. But somewhere between fame, fortune, and family, that bond started to crack. Future's situation wasn't just about getting rich. It was about hitting another level of rich. We're talking catalog money rich. The kind of rich where you could retire tomorrow and still have more than your grandkids could ever spend. But while Future was stacking generational wealth, the people closest to him were moving reckless, and the feds were already on their trail. According to the federal complaint we got our hands on, this was no random bust. This was a long, carefully planned takedown. Agents had been tracking every move for months. Physical surveillance, intercepted calls, and even tips from inside sources. This was a full-on operation targeting what they believed to be a major street network hiding in plain sight. Now picture this, November 14th, 10 p.m. Federal agents roll up quiet but heavy on a Forest Park Airbnb. 2 cars parked outside, one under Casino's name, the other belonging to a man named David Diaz from California with 0 known ties to Georgia. That right there already raised red flags. When the agents made their move and started executing the warrant, things got chaotic. Casino and a woman inside tried to bolt out the side door. But let's keep it real. He wasn't exactly built for sprinting. They caught him quick, cash in hand, around $4 grand in his pocket when they cuffed him. Once the feds stepped inside, what they found looked like a mini warehouse operation hidden in a luxury rental. In the kitchen and on the stove sat black duffel bags packed with what appeared to be 17 kilos of a deadly illegal substance pressed into brick form, some stamped with designer logos like Louis Vuitton. Wild, right? Bricks branded like luxury fashion. The same lifestyle Future was living openly in Miami. The contrast is almost poetic. High-end labels tied to street danger. But that wasn't all. Agents discovered roughly $300,000 in cash stacked with rubber bands all around the house, plus another $80,000 stuffed in a designer bag belonging to Casino himself. The money, the branding, the setup. It all screamed big operation, not some small-time hustle. That's $380,000 total in suspected street earnings, stacked high and wrapped tight. Alongside it were money counters and vacuum sealers, the kind of tools only used when real volume and serious money are moving through. But here's the thing. This story goes way beyond Casino's arrest. This is a pattern that's been haunting FBG for years, even while Future's been out here living the high life in luxury. Take young Scooter, rest in peace to that man. His passing back in 2020 still hits hard because it didn't have to happen. That tragedy could have been avoided completely if his circle had been in a better position to steer him clear of risky spots. Here's the real backstory. Scooter was inside a trap house when someone made a false police call. The cops pulled up and panic broke out. Scooter tried to take off, jumping over a fence to get away. But disaster struck when he got caught on a sharp metal stake that pierced his leg, hitting a major artery. He lost too much blood before help could arrive. And right there, his story ended. A life gone too soon over something that never should have happened. That's the painful truth. When you've got the means to build legit businesses, there's no reason to still be around danger like that. Future had more than enough resources to pull his people out the mud, but somehow, the same street habits kept circling back to the crew. And here's what makes it even more chilling. Future literally spoke on this kind of downfall in his own music. Remember his track, Feds did a sweep. Casino was right there in the video, surrounded by stacks of money, living that fast life, almost like a warning of what was to come. And now, the real feds did come through, and Casino's staring down the harshest sentence possible for conspiracy charges tied to dangerous substances. Let's break down what Casino's really facing. Conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute one of the most dangerous substances out there. And with the 21 kilos they reportedly found, we're talking about serious federal time. Mandatory minimums that can keep a man locked away for life. The feds don't play around with cases like this, especially when it involves something this deadly. They're not treating it like a small offense. They're calling it a full-blown public health crisis. And that means no mercy. But here's where things hit deeper. This isn't just about Future being cold or selfish or forgetting where he came from. Maybe he did try to help, and his people just couldn't let go of the streets. Maybe family tension, pride, or personal drama created distance. But when you line everything up, Scooter gone too soon, Casino now facing the rest of his life behind bars, and other FBG members getting wrapped up in their own legal problems, it paints a picture that's hard to ignore. It looks like a man who made it out of the trenches but couldn't pull everyone else up with him. Now let's talk real numbers. $70 million isn't just rich money. That's empire building money. That's enough to change the lives of everyone around you forever. Imagine if Future used that to create legitimate opportunities, real business moves that could have turned his whole circle into bosses. We're talking real estate developments, record labels with solid infrastructure, tech startups, restaurant chains, fashion lines, all legal, all lucrative. Think about it. You could give 10 people $5 million each, set them up for life, and still have $20 million left for yourself. That's enough to flip an entire community from street grinding to legitimate wealth. The truth is, Future had the power to build a legacy far beyond music, something that could have secured not just fame, but freedom for everyone in his camp. While Future's out in Miami, living that mansion life and soaking up luxury, his own blood brother was sitting in an Airbnb surrounded by enough dangerous substances to wipe out entire cities. The contrast is insane. It's the kind of split reality that makes people question how money can lift one person so high while everyone else around them keeps sinking deeper. But here's what nobody really talks about: the psychology of sudden wealth. When you go from nothing to having everything, it does something to your mind. You start wanting to disconnect from the past, from the struggle, from the pain, from the faces that remind you where you came from. And when you finally touch that big bag, you start believing money alone can fix people's problems. But the truth is, money without guidance, structure, or real opportunity just builds new problems that come with bigger price tags. Loyalty is supposed to be everything. You don't turn your back on your people, especially not blood. But success can twist how folks see things. Maybe Future really did try to help, and his brother just couldn't let go of the street life. Maybe he offered support, and it got rejected. Or maybe, after years of pressure, fame, and chaos, he just got too comfortable in his new world and forgot the unspoken rule: never leave your own behind. The sad part? This same story keeps playing out in hip-hop again and again. An artist blows up, gets the millions, and suddenly the day ones, the same people who helped build the dream, turn into distant memories. We've seen it happen to countless rappers who made it big but left their circles stuck in the same environment they once escaped. But this one hits different, because this wasn't just a homie from the block or a childhood friend. Casino was blood, Future's real brother, and that makes this situation way more intense. Especially since Casino's case isn't being treated like some local street bust. It's tied to Operation Take Back America, a full-blown federal mission aimed at dismantling international-level organizations. The feds see this as a national security threat, not just another street crime. They're linking this to major global networks, and that's what makes the whole thing terrifying. Getting caught up in a major federal sweep like this means there's no easy way out. No quick plea deals, no light sentences, no maybe they'll go easy on me. Once you're part of an operation this big, the feds want results, not negotiations. And the craziest part, the second name in this case, David Diaz, was a dude from California with zero known ties to Georgia, which means this whole thing stretches way beyond local street business. The investigators believe this setup connects to massive networks smuggling dangerous substances across the southwest border, possibly linked to international suppliers moving through Mexico. That's not a neighborhood hustle, that's global level distribution. And according to federal claims, Casino wasn't just caught with a personal stash, he was allegedly part of an organized interstate pipeline moving serious weight from state to state. But here's where it hits hardest. This story ain't just about what was being moved or who got caught. It's about loyalty, responsibility, and how money can build walls between family members who once had unbreakable bonds. Future made it out the trenches, but did he really make it if his own blood brothers now sitting in a federal cell, possibly for life? Can you truly enjoy generational wealth, knowing your brother might never touch freedom again? This whole situation exposes the dark truth behind hip-hop success, the part people rarely want to talk about. Everyone cheers when an artist makes millions, but nobody talks about the weight that comes with that kind of power. When you finally make it out the hood, how much do you owe to the ones who stood beside you when you had nothing? Do you just offer help and step back, or are you supposed to drag your people out, even when they don't want to go? Future's catalog sale should have been a shining moment for the culture, a major win for a black man from Atlanta, turning his art into generational wealth. It was proof that hip-hop could create ownership, stability, and freedom. But now that moment feels heavy, almost tainted, knowing that while he was securing millions, his brother was still taking wild risks in the streets. It's like two completely different worlds existing under the same last name. We don't know every detail behind what went wrong. Did Future try to help and get pushed away? Was there long-standing family drama that caused distance? Or did Casino simply refuse to leave the streets behind, even with better opportunities on the table? Maybe Future got so wrapped up in his success that he lost touch with the people who once held him down. Whatever the case, the questions are loud, and the answers may never see daylight. What we do know is that Casino is now staring down life without parole. That's permanent, fam. No second chances, no time cuts, no coming home to family dinners or old friends. Meanwhile, Future's still out here flying private, hitting exotic beaches, and living a dream life that his own brother will never experience again. That's a harsh, uncomfortable contrast that forces everyone to think about what success really costs, not just in dollars, but in relationships and loyalty. Maybe Future really did all he could and his people just didn't listen. Maybe he offered legit ways out that were ignored. Or maybe, just maybe, success changed him so much that the bond couldn't survive the distance. No matter how you slice it, this story hits deep because it's not just about money or fame. It's about family, choices, and the painful truth that not everyone makes it out together. So what do you think? Should Future have done more to pull his brother and FBG out the streets? Or is every man responsible for his own path no matter who he's related to? Did Future fail Casino? Or did Casino seal his own fate? Drop your thoughts in the comments, share your take, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Because the next story we got coming will blow your mind. See you in the next one.